Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Splash Sisters. I'm Hana,
And I'm Mev.
and we're here to talk about some news that happened recently. Kristaps Porzingis got traded to the Celtics, which was a big surprise in the moment. Like I was like in shock when I saw that, and it was like some traction for a few days. And there was one point where Woj said the trade has fallen apart, and it was hilarious. The timeline was so funny because it was like Malcolm Brogdon wasn't involved in the trade, but then they found out like his injury is like really serious. So then it fell apart. But then they included Marcus Smart, and then it went through. But I feel really bad for Marcus Smart, for being honest.
Yeah, like I'm not even a Celtics fan, and that kind of made me sad, in his like tweet. I think it's really cool how he's gonna be a Grizzly, and I'm excited to see how he is on the Grizzlies. But the Celtics are literally stacked. I think they're gonna come out of the East. They're like my early pick coming out of the
I don't
East
know. I
so
feel like
far.
a lot of things could go wrong with trading for Kristaps.
I mean, they
He
don't have a
did,
point guard,
in my
but
opinion, I feel like he did have the best season of his career recently because he wasn't just great on the offensive side, he was really, really good on the defensive side. So he's going to fit right in with the Celtics. But for me, I feel like he is an injury risk. I think they should like chill on him. He shouldn't play all 82 games next season. I think he should just like coast throughout the season because he is injury prone. But the one thing that's missing for the Celtics that like I keep stressing over and over again is a real point guard, like a real primary playmaker.
even Marcus Smart wasn't enough because he was amazing at defense. Obviously, he won Defensive Player of the Year, but that playmaking side, it was just lacking in like the type of things like a point you need from a point guard, like Steph Curry, for example. He does everything on the offensive end. Like you have to be good on the offensive end as a point guard. Offense is more important than defense as a point guard or guard in general.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like
And he lacked that.
Marcus Smart is going to be really good on the map on the Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies too, they were just the second seed this year, and they had a pretty good record all season. They didn't Jaw did miss a lot of games. Jaren Jackson did miss a lot of games at the beginning of the year, but they still ended up being the second seed too, which was impressive. Even though Jaw is suspended for like 30 games this year, I believe. Next year,
25.
25. I think they still will win games. And they're still a really, really good team. And like you have to watch out for the Grizzlies next year. If John Morant's on his best behavior.
I think he will be. But yeah, I think the Celtics, I mean, they have Derek White who showed that he's
I
amazing.
like Derek White, but like I don't know. I just need like a point guard like Chris Paul. And that's why I kept saying trade for Chris Paul, trade for Chris Paul. And the Warriors didn't even trade much.
They need a facilitator
Like
because
the Warriors didn't even
Tatum
trade
and
much for
Brown
him.
are
Like
lacking that.
Jordan Poole, I know Jordan Poole was like probably like entice the Wizards into agreeing because like Jordan Poole obviously he was underwhelming in the playoffs, lowered down his trade value a little bit, so that kind of sucked for the Warriors because I feel like they could have gotten more if they traded him last year because he was really, really good last year. I don't know how, like I still will never understand his drop off from last year in the playoffs to this year. Like Jordan Poole will be really good.
No.
Why?
He's just a shot chucking machine. And I'm sorry, like what is he can't play make, he can't defend. He just made tough shots in front of baddies last year, and that's literally why he got so much clout and like fame. And he kind of exposed himself last year. I don't really see him coming back.
Yeah,
From
but it's
that. I
different
don't.
like this year. Like I mean next year. I keep saying this year.
Yeah.
It's like different next year because like he's gonna be like the main focus on this team. Because I know the Wizards are definitely gonna lose Kyle Kuzma. Like I do not see them re-signing Kyle Kuzma. So Jordan Poole will literally be the lone wolf on this Wizards team, and he will have most of the offensive
I
role
mean,
on
you
this
are kind
team.
of right because he always like showed off when Curry wasn't playing.
Yeah,
Poole.
exactly.
I think he wants to be that like primary ball
Like
handler.
I would
Even
not be
though he's
surprised if Jordan Poole averages 25 points per game next year. Like I would not be surprised. And I know a lot of people think he sucks right now, but he's really talented in like offensively. I feel like he's a great passer when he wants to be. Like some passes that he makes sometimes I'm like, "Oh, damn, like he has that in his bag." He can make any shot from like even though he doesn't do it efficiently, he can make shots like from anywhere on the court. But that efficiency I still feel like the efficiency won't be great, but he will average like 20 plus points per game. I see it being 25. And it shouldn't be a hot take, really.
you're
Like who else
tripping.
is going
You're
to score on that
literally
Wizards team? Stop laughing. Stop laughing. We're
Do you
coming back
even
to
believe
this.
yourself? Do you even believe what you're saying right now, or are you just trolling? I can't tell.
Now, Jordan Poole is still a good player.
He's not averaging 25 points per game next year. He's not.
You underestimate like the Wizards really because the like obviously you should underestimate them, but I'm saying like you underestimate how bad they are because like Jordan Poole will be
20 at
Jordan Poole will
most.
be
20.
taking 20 shots a game. He will, and he has like even with Curry and Clay on the court, he was launching them. Like he didn't care that they were on the court. He didn't want to pass them. He was launching those shots. Imagine a team with just him like as the main guy, like no Curry, no Clay, like no star on that team. He knows that he's the best player on that team now. He's gonna want those shots. So don't be surprised when he averages 25 points per game because I see it happening. And if comment down below if you see Jordan Poole averaging 20 plus points per game because I think like it's inevitable. He averaged 18 this year, 18 on a team with Curry, Clay, Wiggins, and yeah, he's just getting better like regular season wise because I think playoffs he was terrible, but in the regular season I think he was good. And he gets better and better as the year goes on. And now he's the lone wolf on this Wizards team. Like I think it's just inevitable.
Anyways,
and you better owe me an
nobody
apology if he
cares.
does.
Nobody cares that much about the Wizards, for being honest. Because
The Wizards
you know,
are honestly the Wizards are just stuck. Really, I mean,
a lot of
I
teams
like they
are
did,
stuck.
and I still like. Why would the Warriors get rid of Poole? Like I get like he was underwhelming in the playoffs, but he helped you win a championship. He's 23 years old or 24 years old. Chris Paul's 38 years old. So you got rid of someone who's 14 years younger than Chris Paul. Isn't that kind of crazy?
God damn, Chris Paul's old as hell.
Like you should have traded Jordan Poole for
It was
a younger player or like another player, right? Like Chris Paul isn't
like,
his best self either.
I don't think. Listen, I don't think that's the point. The point is they had to choose between Draymond and Poole, and they're gonna choose
Yeah,
Draymond.
I get that, but I feel like they could have found like a suitor for Jordan Poole anywhere else. I feel like getting Chris Paul like is not really gonna solve any issues that they have.
Yeah, because Chris Paul's old and extremely injury prone. So like, if this was Chris Paul 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, they really need to deepen their bench, get better shooting because outside of Curry, like when the shots aren't falling on the team, it's horrible. Like get better shooting, like a primary playmaker off the bench. When Curry sits down, it doesn't fall apart. Like I'm pretty sure who they have this year, they were having like Ty Jerome, Jordan
Dante
Poole,
DiVincenzo.
Like no, you can't have that. And honestly, I think the Warriors are a strong team, but yeah, I think they just need to deepen their bench. And I think Kevon Looney was really good in the playoffs, but he's like more of like a backup center to me. Like I think like I said in like last episode, I think Brooke Lopez would do really good on the Warriors. And I'm seeing like who I saw this tweet, it was like who's gonna win the Brooke Lopez sweepstakes? Because he's like the type of center that can make every single team better.
Facts. He would make the Bulls a contender for sure.
Exactly, literally any team. But no, that would be a weird matchup with like not matchup, like it would be a weird duo with Vucevic and
I'm saying
Lopez.
if we get rid of Vucevic, if I speak about the Bulls, they'll cancel me.
Lonzo's always on
Yes,
my mind.
I miss
like,
Lonzo.
I feel really bad for Lonzo.
Lonzo made us a legit. Lonzo made us a legit contender, and then he got hurt, and we fell apart last year. So, of course, I miss Lonzo. It's crazy.
Honestly, like if you think about it, years ago when everyone was hyping Big Baller Brand and like the Ball brothers, they were like the hot topic. Everyone was interested in them and would watch their high school games, watch their college games. Like everyone loved the Ball brothers. And honestly, like I think most people thought they'd be stars in the NBA. And it's crazy. Like only one will last, really, and that's LaMelo.
Lonzo was on the path to stardom. He literally averaged over 40% from three. He got hurt, and every single year he improved his 3-point percentage. Like he took 7+ threes per game, and averaged over 40% from three. And on elite defense, elite playmaking, Lonzo literally was. Oh my god, I miss him. Like I literally miss him, bro.
He never had like.
If he didn't get hurt, like he's better than LaMelo too.
That's cap. He didn't
get hurt. He's better than LaMelo.
He's not better than LaMelo, Mev.
Yes, he is.
He is.
He's a better shooter, playmaker. LaMelo was just flashy and averaged a lot of points. And
LaMelo's a better scorer. I know
he's a better scorer.
Neither are efficient by any means.
Lonzo's efficient.
LaMelo. That's why
Lonzo's more efficient. Are you okay?
Anyways, like I made a TikTok and I said that Tyrese Halliburton is the best player in the 2020 draft, and all the comments are saying that LaMelo and Anthony Edwards are better, and I'm just thinking like
Anthony Edwards is better.
No, I think Tyrese Halliburton was better last year. I'm not saying like I think Anthony Edwards has a higher ceiling and he'll be better, but like if we're going off this past season, Tyrese Halliburton was better. Like I want to take like Tyrese Halliburton's playmaking efficiency over Anthony Edwards at this moment. And I do believe that Anthony Edwards is gonna take a leap any season now. But Tyrese Halliburton is like underrated. I think that his
I'm
playmaking, his
not even gonna
passing is
lie. Anthony
elite. And
Edwards
Tyrese
became
Halliburton is an
extremely.
elite passer, and he's really efficient
I'm not gonna lie. People.
and takes efficient shots. And that's what I really like from point guards. Like if they can pass and like score at like a really efficient rate. And that's why I feel like Jalen Brunson is. That's why I really like Jalen Brunson too. Like they both, I think, are better than Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards is better than Jalen Brunson.
So John Collins got traded today to the Utah Jazz.
They traded John Collins for Rudy Gay and a second round pick. Like what? I feel like that's low key disrespectful as hell. Because John Collins is actually good. Like they couldn't even get a first round pick for him.
I think the Hawks sold because John Collins has been on the trade market for years now.
They could have gotten him like for a way better value, like in the past, but they waited too long. But he's like still good, so I don't get it. Like they probably definitely could have shipped him out for more. Like
I'm not. I don't even. Honestly, I don't even believe it because he's shown year after year that he's not as good as like people think he is. Even though he's still a solid player, but like he could have been like they could have gotten a lot more for him years ago. But they got Rudy Gay, who's old as shit, doesn't like Rudy Gay, and a second round pick. Like, come on.
insane.
That's why the Hawks waited too long, in my opinion. Like they really fumbled the bag here. And the Hawks, honestly, like I just I just don't see anything going for them. Like, and Trae Young has been in trade talks, even though they would never trade Trae Young. Like trading Trae Young would be the craziest thing, in my opinion.
I mean, they could, and like if it's not working, they're gonna have to, because they're not gonna pull a Portland Trailblazers and just let him raw on this team. You know, they're not putting any help around him either. They bought Dejounte Murray,
There's still a lot of time because
and
he's still a young player. Like Damian Lillard is like in his like 33, and like they're still thinking about not trading him. Like for
I
Damian
mean,
Lillard, how do you not trade him?
they keep saying they're gonna trade him, and they're saying they all trade talks are off, and then they're gonna trade him, and then all trade talks are off again. Now they're looking for somewhere for him to go, but it can't be a stacked team. It has to be like a team with depth, pretty much.
Like you
So
just
where do you
read
think he
something
would
to
go?
me. For me, I feel like I want to see him on Miami because that would be like Dame's and Jimmy Butler's only chance at a ring. Honestly,
Yeah, because everyone saw what this Heat team this past year that made the finals, probably like the craziest team with less help to make the finals in like NBA history. Almost as bad as AI's team
and honestly,
against the
if the Heat do
Kobe
this,
Lakers. But
if the Heat do this, they're the only like then I'll be more confident that next year will be like a different NBA champion. Because at this moment, like no one's beating the Nuggets until someone makes a move. Anyone makes a move.
what
Like
is it with this?
pick your card, any card, make a move. Because the Nuggets are gonna win again, and they'll win.
Honestly, we need to stop with this notion that the Nuggets are unbeatable, because they very much can be beatable. Okay,
Mav, it's just not happening. Let's put 100 on it right now.
okay, you're
We
gonna
gotta
only
bring this
know.
back because the Nuggets are gonna go back to back, and that's a really early prediction. But I just don't like. I just think that they'll get better
I'm
and
just
better.
saying they're not
Like barring any
unbeatable.
injury, like they're gonna win again.
I'm just saying they're not unbeatable.
I
They're
think you're
not,
right. You're right. Like they're not the
because
73-9
the
Warriors who had Kevin
Suns,
Durant.
the Lakers, I feel like next year, the Suns,
The Lakers need to do
The
something.
Celtics, the Bucks,
The
a
Lakers
bunch of
with
teams are gonna
the
get
Lakers
run
with
for
the
their
exact
money.
team they had, they'll get spanked by the Nuggets. Like they need to do something. Anything, please. But the Blazers are really fumbling the bag here. Like they just drafted Scoot Henderson, and we all know how great Scoot Henderson is. There's no doubt in my mind he won't be a star in the NBA.
I
And
think the
they
Hornets
draft
really
him.
fumbled by
Yeah,
not picking him.
the Hornets are just dumb. Anyways, it was like a lot of like a fit issue people were talking about. Like will LaMelo and Scoot work well together? But you just can't like
You know what I think
you.
they thought it would be like? Because you know when like the Kings drafted Tyrese Halliburton, and like Tyrese and like Fox, like they both are like the starting point guard type and don't work together. That's probably what they thought. They think Scoot and Lamelo would be like. But I feel like they should have just tried it out, because I'm not really that too high on Brennan Miller, honestly.
Yeah, and I feel like they really did fumble there. Scoot Henderson is a future star, but now the Blazers they have to think like, do we start rebuilding now? We just got the third overall pick. He's a future star. Let's trade Damian Lillard. He's done so much for us. Like, thank you for all you done, Dame. Head out the door. Get a bunch of draft picks in return. get a young player in return wherever they trade him, like get some assets, get picks that are really important, and start rebuilding. Because I don't know like what they're gonna do here. Are they really gonna pair Dame and Scoot like up?
They
Like it's
that's
still
at
not
this
good
rate,
enough to
yes,
win.
but
Like there's still no point in doing that. Just
I
and
saw another
Dame on another
report.
what?
I saw a report that Dame was angry that they didn't trade the third pick and they drafted Scoot.
And like that should be his last straw. Like you guys are not getting. You guys could have got a lot for the third pick to help me more, and it didn't happen. So that should be his motivation to leave now. And honestly,
I
like
kind of want to see Scoot and Dame play together though.
honestly, Scoot Henderson will learn a lot from Dame, and it would be crazy if you got to play with him. But I don't know. I just don't see Dame like he knows this team. They're not doing much to help him, and they're better off rebuilding.
Yeah, so I do think that Dame will get traded. That's gonna be such a blockbuster trade. Like, when that happens, I'm literally gonna scream. I hope it happens because I won't believe it till it happens at this rate.
Me neither. But oh my god, imagine the Twitter timeline when it happens. Like people are being like, "Are we dreaming? Like this is a troll. April Fools was months ago." That's what's gonna happen if Dame gets traded. Like it's gonna be like a historical event because it's something like no one thought would happen. Like it's like a negative like 2% chance right now that he's gonna get traded. Because like we hear the same story every year, and it never happens. And it's frustrating to hear because like I literally muted Damian Lillard. I muted it because I just can't hear the same thing over and over again.
Hopefully, something happens. I'll be praying on it.
So Victor Wembanyama just got drafted to the Spurs. He posted a picture of him and a bunch of Spurs legends like David Robinson, Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, and the whole like Twitter went crazy. Like, has any other pick been treated like loyalty like this?
The type of hype Vic has been getting so far, I haven't seen it. Obviously, since LeBron, I wasn't even alive when LeBron James was in high school, or was I? I was born in 2002,
Yes, you were
so
born, Mev. We were babies.
that's unreal. Also, LeBron is older than like 80% of the draft class this year. How crazy is that? Like, I mean, he's been in the league even before they were alive, so I think that's crazy. LeBron's
Yeah, like
old.
since LeBron, like no one has received this kind of hype.
There's people saying Victor Wembanyama is already a top 10 player in the NBA. Like, he hasn't even played a
They were
single.
definitely trolling, but like I don't know.
Like, God forbid, Victor is a bust. He's gonna be the biggest bust of all time because at this rate, because of all this hype he has. Like,
Honestly,
it's crazy.
be prepared for this rookie to average 25 points per game.
I mean, he
Luka
is.
Doncic said it's way easier to score in the NBA than it is overseas. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Victor says the same thing. Like he's on the Spurs team, he's obviously the best player on this team, and he's the most polished, the most talented, and I think he's NBA ready. He's obviously the most NBA ready person from this draft, and it won't be hard for him to adjust to the NBA. And honestly, yeah, with all the spacing that there is in the NBA, and he's a really good shooter too. He can shoot from deep, and he's gonna be ready for it. He's gonna be averaging 25 points per game. He's gonna be averaging like a couple blocks. I think he's gonna average like 2 blocks, like 10 rebounds. It's gonna happen.
I mean, I think 25
If
points
he
per game
does
is
what I just
crazy.
said, if he does what I just said, then he's gonna have the greatest.
People are gonna
rookie
say he's
season
already
ever.
people are gonna say he's gonna end up being the GOAT at the end of his career if that happens. But I don't see. He's probably gonna average like 20 points per game.
I'm not gonna miss a single game. I'm not even kidding. And honestly,
A lot of
his
bandwagons are
first
about to
NBA
come.
game, everyone will be there. Like all the celebrities, everything. Everyone will want to see him. And that's just his hype right now. Even his summer league games, because I think he is playing summer league. Everyone's gonna be there.
I'm watching the summer league. I mean, I watch summer league anyways for the teams, but that's gonna feel like the NBA finals for me. Honestly, like I can't wait to watch him play in the NBA.